NLP presuppositions. NLP presuppositions is a set of coaching mental models. They're called presuppositions because in NLP we accept them as basic guiding principles that inform our coaching practice. Let's take a look. Number 1, the map is not the territory. No one knows what objective reality is. The only reality we know is the experience of the mind. Our experience is the synthesis of sensory information. Everything we know about the external world we absorb through our 5 senses. So the information that we absorb through our 5 senses creates so-called representational models in our mind. Thoughts, ideas, concepts, beliefs, philosophies, mental models. Basically, the content of our mind is conceptions and perceptions. So simply speaking, the whole content of your mind is just a collection of those mental representations of what truly is. Even the language that we use is just a way of referring to reality. When you come to this planet, you're instantly being conditioned by your mother tongue. It's in a sense your programming language. The culture you have grown in, your family, your upbringing, your life experiences, and the narratives you have developed or created about your life experience. Your conditioning defines your experience. So your reality is always subjective. Everything you know as truth is true only for you. 8 billion humans on this planet equal 8 billion maps of reality. You are navigating this life using your map. The quality of your life is defined by the quality, accuracy, and efficiency of your map. Naval Ravikant writes on Twitter, "The only real test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life." There are 2 major implications of this statement. Number 1 is obvious. You've got to be smart to hack the reality and get what you want. Number 2 is less obvious. It takes real intelligence to figure out what is that you really want. An NLP layer that can be added to this tweet would be, your ability to get what you want out of life is determined by your map of reality. So that's presupposition number 1. The map is not the territory. You never experience the reality, only your perception of it. Number 2. The map becomes the territory. Believe in your map of reality long enough, and you will convince yourself that your way of thinking is the only true reality. You will believe that the way you experience life is how life really is. But of course, it's an illusion. What you have accepted as universal truth is true only for you. 8 billion humans equal 8 billion ways of thinking. 8 billion of absolutely different ways of experiencing and living this life. This is why one does not benefit too much from people's opinions. What other people think about life is largely irrelevant. What they say is always just a projection of their current map. If their map is not working, then it will be reflected in their life. If it's working, it will also be reflected. So just observe their life, and if it's not the life you want to model, then why listen to those people? Observation starts with you, examining your own life, knowing that your current map is your current result. But that is not the reality. So ask yourself a question. What else I don't know? How do I know that everything I know is true? If something is not working in your life, you have an error in the code. There is something somewhere in your map of reality that is not working. Your map became your territory. Your current belief system manifests itself in the reality that you're experiencing. Number 3, respect all models of the world. We all are different people. Every single one of us is individual, unique, and unprecedented being with a unique and unprecedented model of the world. To be successful coaches and good humans, we must accept that other people won't see the world the way we do. And that's okay. That is the natural order of things. Observe your mind. Our mind has a tendency to judge others. That's what the mind constantly doing. The mind is a judgment generating machine. Be aware of that judgment process. Our judgment is flawed and can become a mind trap we get stuck in. If we respect all models of the world, life becomes an interchange. I share my elements of the map, you share yours. And sharing ideas is always a non-zero sum game. If I give you an idea and you give me an idea, we both have two ideas. Win-win. If the new idea works for us, we integrate it into our map of reality. And both of us sail through this life in a much more efficient way. Number 4, everyone is doing the best they can. Your current reality is what you have created for yourself at your current level of consciousness. You are doing the best you can with what you have, where you are, just like everyone else. All people are driven by the same force. So what is the ultimate driver for all human behavior? Well, the ultimate driver for everyone is to create the ultimate human experience. Now, what ultimate human experience really means is a meaning that everyone generates for himself. Everyone is doing the best they can to create that ultimate human experience for themselves. And to be effective humans and transformational coaches, we must accept this presupposition as a guiding principle. This brings us to the next one. Number 5, behind every behavior, there is a positive intention. No one wakes up in the morning with an intention to destroy the world, while some humans maybe do. What Alfred said in the Batman movie might be true. Some men just want to watch the world burn. But we don't talk about the jokers of the world. These are the people that were broken by the system and completely consumed by their thinking minds. We don't talk about them. These are some edge cases. These podcasts, this content is not for humans with psyche that is broken beyond repair. If you are self-aware and dedicated to the path of self-awareness, this is the presupposition to operate from. Behind every behavior, there is a positive intention. People do things because they think those things are the right things to do. And when they do things that can be characterized as problematic behavior, they just operate from the belief system that they currently have. Sometimes the belief system is dysfunctional. There is always some form of broken logic that stands behind such a behavior. In coaching, we always assume a positive intent. And when we can't, we learn on the philosophical razors, such as Hanlon's razor, for example. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. I'm joking. Maybe not joking. Either way, we always assume positive intent. This presupposition works hand in hand with the next one. Number 6, people are not their behavior. To be a successful coach or an NLP practitioner, you have to train yourself to operate from the position of acceptance. Our true nature is the same. Everyone came to this planet as a pure child, uncontaminated by thought. Hitler was a baby, Charles Manson was a baby, Caligula, Ivan IV, Mussolini. Humans, we consider the worst and the cruelest, all come from the same pure source as everyone else. No one is born evil. What makes people evil is the illusion of thought. When people are unawakened, remaining under illusion of the thinking mind, the ego takes full control and runs a human's life. People are not their behavior, but through their behavior, we can change the identity. And that is one of the approaches in coaching. Number 7, calibrate the behavior. You cannot control what you don't understand, and all understanding starts with observation. In case of self-coaching, self-observation. Your own behavior will give you the best and most accurate information that you will need to make the changes you seek. Every behavior is just a manifestation of a current belief or a thinking pattern you have. This is important to understand because sometimes the behavior can be outside of the conscious awareness. In the coaching process, my job as a coach is to bring the thought process behind the behavior that needs calibration into the light of your awareness. The root cause must be first illuminated before it is addressed. So we can't change anything until we get some fresh ideas, until we begin to see the things differently. Number 8, behavior and change should be evaluated in their ecology. What is ecology? Ecology simply means context or environment. As a coach, my job is to understand what is going on in the world of my coachees and to guide them in the most appropriate way. This presupposition is critical for a coach because this is what distinguishes an amateur and a professional. A professional is a master of intellectual empathy. My job is to learn to think how you think, or at least to get closer to that. And that is only possible if I understand the ecology. An amateur would be projecting their own ego, their own reality. Projections don't help. Number 9, people are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. This is a core presupposition from which we as coaches operate. My clients are high-functioning, high-earning, successful from a material standpoint people to begin with, but overall, we as coaches believe that our clients have all the tools, knowledge, and resources to create the change they want in their lives. And if they don't, they have the resourcefulness. They can create tools, knowledge, and resources they need. And it is my job as a coach to provide those resources, and by extension, this is the purpose of this pod, to provide you with the tools, knowledge, and resources so that you could do at least a portion of coaching work by yourself. There are no unresourceful people, only unresourceful states. Number 10, resistance indicates a lack of rapport. So trust is the foundation of effective coaching, and this is something I explained to all my clients in the first session. A coach is important. One can only bring you to the level of their own understanding, their depth, their insight, their self-awareness. You do not hire an abyss personal trainer for yourself, do you? On the other hand, a coachee is important. If you're my client, that's my promise. I will give you 100% commitment, but I will demand 100% back. I will challenge you, and the process will be painful. Pieces of your old identity must die, and it's always a painful process. And it will work only if you're ready for this, if you're 100% committed. So the coach is important, a coachee is important, but the success of coaching is not on either party. The success of coaching is determined by the strength of coaching relationship. It is the relationship that creates this transformation. There is no transformation if there is no trust. If there's no trust, a coachee will resist to new thoughts, ideas, mental models, or new ways of thinking. So in every new relationship, building trust is the first priority. 11. Failure doesn't exist, only feedback. We fail, we fall, we learn how to get up and do better. This is a concept that was developed and popularized by Nassim Taleb and is known as antifragility. Antifragility is beyond resilience or robustness. The resilient resists shocks and stays the same. The antifragile gets better. I think this is important to understand as a coach. We have to aspire to be antifragile if we want our clients to model us. So let me explain. I'm not saying that this should be some kind of ego-driven pursuit. Like, hey, I'm so gritty and resilient, so I want my clients to use me as a role model. That's not the point. The point is that regardless of how you will set up the paradigm of your coaching relationship with clients, they will consciously or subconsciously be looking up to you. You are the coach, and your duty is to provide guidance. Oftentimes, the best guidance you will provide won't be from that. You can contribute into the conversation by instruction or prescription, but who you are as a human. And if you're truly anti-fragile, if you're grounded in the failure doesn't exist, only feedback mindset, wouldn't you be doing a great job as a coach, even if your clients decide to model after you and adopt said mindset? Number 12, any behavior was the best choice anyone had at the time. Problems are never solved at the same level of consciousness they were created. The reality that you're experiencing right now reflects your level of consciousness. To manifest new reality, one must rise above the current level of consciousness, meaning think bigger, deploy more effective thinking models. As coaches, we always operate having this in mind. People are doing the best they can with what they have, where they are. Also, if people choose to remain where they are, it means that at some level, it is okay for them to be there. You have what you have in life because at some point in life, not having it was no longer an option for you. You don't have what you don't have because you're okay with it at some level. Change happens when it becomes non-negotiable. And this is what I learned about people very quickly in my coaching practice in the very early days. You can't change people. People always do what they want to do. They never do what they don't want to do. And it's impossible to move them from the latter to former. My role as a coach is not to change people. My role is to enable them with tools, mental models, and awareness required to be the agents of change for themselves. Any behavior was the best choice anyone had at the time. Direct implication, better thinking equal better choices. My NLP presuppositions. NLP presuppositions is a set of coaching mental models. They're called presuppositions because in NLP we accept them as basic guiding principles that inform our coaching practice. Let's take a look. Number 1, the map is not the territory. No one knows what objective reality is. The only reality we know is the experience of the mind. Our experience is the synthesis of sensory information. Everything we know about the external world we absorb through our 5 senses. So the information that we absorb through our 5 senses creates so-called representational models in our mind. Thoughts, ideas, concepts, beliefs, philosophies, mental models. Basically, the content of our mind is conceptions and perceptions. So simply speaking, the whole content of your mind is just a collection of those mental representations of what truly is. Even the language that we use is just a way of referring to reality. When you come to this planet, you're instantly being conditioned by your mother tongue. It's in a sense your programming language. The culture you have grown in, your family, your upbringing, your life experiences,